Pussy Simkin by Linda Greenbury. Pussy Simkin is a country cat born on a farm and used to plenty of space to roam about in. In the first story, his family and their little Janet girl move into the town. The book tells about Pussy Simkin's adventures in his strange new world. He is lucky because right next door lives a city-bred, sophisticated Siamese Ching, and the cats soon become friends. Siamese Ching knows how to cross the busy streets safely, the way back to the park, and where the best fish scraps are to be found. Pussy Simkin teases his friend about his collar, but when Janet gives him one which he can't get off however he tries, and he is lost, he quickly finds out what a good idea it is. The stories are just right for reading out loud to the under fives, and who will also enjoy the selection of rhymes and verses, all of which have been heard in Listen with Mother. The appeal of both stories and verses in further enhanced by the delightful drawings by Ronald Ferns. Before we begin, stories about cats are those most often submitted to Listen with Mother, and they are amongst the most numerous in the program's repertoire. This reflects a sure instinct of writers for little children have great sympathy with domestic animals, and most especially with the soft furry cat. Pussy Simkin and Siamese Ching have the self-sufficient independence of their kind and wills and personalities of their owner. The writer clearly understands cats and presents them humorously and unsentimentally through, though with affection too. It is a happy relationship of kindness and realism which has made Pussy Simkin and Siamese Ching such favorites. Also included are some of the rhymes and verses which help to give Listen with Mother its special character. All may be enjoyed for themselves alone, while many can become sources of valuable play. Little Pussy Cat Says Meow, for example, with made up by a mother for her baby, and she crooned a tune to the words. Soon the baby was joining in with the imitative sounds. The older sister was playing the tune on her pipe, and it became an activity in which all three could unite. Jump, jump, jump can be a jumping game. 2, 3 blackbirds, beginning as a finger play, many become an active game between mother and child, and when the child hears "Listen while I make a sound," it will surely not be long before he too is experimenting with noises in happy vocal play. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been? I've been up to London to look at the Queen. Pussycat, pussycat, what did you there? I caught a little mouse under her chair. Meow, meow. Pussy Simkin Goes to Town. Pussy Simkin was a country cat. He lived on a farm with Taffy the dog, and he belonged to a girl called Janet, who's 4. Pussy Simkin was large and fat, and he had orange and white fur and a very long tail. Every day Pussy Simkin spent a lot of time washing and cleaning his fine fluffy tail, and when he had finished he gave it a good shake. Pussy Simkin liked to see it waving in the air, all bright and shiny, and sometimes he would try to catch it as it moved around. One day, when Pussy Simkin had just got tired of this game, Janet came to him and said, "Come here, Pussy Simkin. Come and see what a huge bowl of fish is waiting for you inside here." So Pussy Simkin went to see the huge bowl of fish, which was inside a big upside-down basket. And when he was right inside, he suddenly, with a click and a clank, Janet's mother closed the door behind him and lifted Pussy Simkin, the bowl of fish, and the basket right up in the air. Janet smiled at Pussy Simkin. "Don't be afraid," she said. "We are all going for a long ride in the car, and we are going to leave here and live in the town." Pussy Simkin had a good look round. He decided that there was not very much room in his basket, so he couldn't play any games with his tail. He also thought he had better eat up the fish, because with all the wobbling and joggling, it would soon get spilt. Pussy Simkin licked his whiskers when he had finished, and curled up as comfortably as he could. He felt the car going brrr along the road and ee around the corners, and Pussy Simkin decided to go to sleep. He woke up when he felt the basket being lifted up again. Soon Janet's mother opened the little door, and she stroked Pussy Simkin as he came slowly out and had such a good stretch. "There's a good pussy," she said. "I'm sorry we have to put you in that tiny house, but you have to walk now and see your new home." Pussy Simkin wondered where he was. He looked for the long big farm kitchen with its cozy warm fire, but he couldn't find it. He looked for his basket under the dining room table, but it wasn't there. He looked for Janet's daddy's big black gumboots, which always had lived by the back door, and they weren't there either. Pussy Simkin didn't think very much of his new home. He thought it would go out. He found an open door and went into what he imagined would be the farmyard, but Pussy Simkin was very surprised. No chickens, no tractor, no hay, no cows, nothing that he had ever seen before. There was a little tiny grassy bit, one or two small flowers, and a big high fence. Pussy Simkin felt very sad, and he sat down with a bump onto the grass. "If this is living in the town, I don't think I like it very much," he said miserably. "There's no one to play with, and nowhere to curl up by the fire, and nowhere to have a good romp on the fire sunny day. I think it's a horrid house with horrid garden." "I don't think that," said a voice. Pussy Simkin looked at the top of the high fence, and there, with his tail wound round his thin light brown body, was another cat, the funniest cat Pussy Simkin had ever seen, a cat with a merry blue eyes and dark brown ears and a collar round his neck. Pussy Simkin stood up. "Who are you?" he said. "I'm Chinese Sing. I'm a town cat. You'll have to get slim and light like me if you are ever going to be able to jump over this fence." "Do you like living here?" said Pussy Simkin. Siamese Ching smiled. "Yes," he said, "I do. I can't see why," Pussy Simkin grumbled. "There's nothing to do and nowhere to go." "Oh, yes, there is," said Siamese Ching, as he sprang lightly down onto the grass from the fence and came to sit by Pussy Simkin. "I can see I shall have to look after you, as I am a town cat." "We'll be friends, shall we? And I can show you how to jump over the fence, and how to chase the pigeons, and where the milkman comes, and the way to park. There's a fish pond there." "What's a park?" Pussy Simkin asked. "A park? Don't you know what a park is?" Oh dear, Siamese Ching gave a great loud laugh. "What a fat, furry country cat you are. I can see there's lots I'll have to teach you. A park is a place where all the children go to play, and there's lots of flowers and grass and trees and woody parts. It's lovely in the park, and sometimes children drop their ice cream papers and I lick all the ice cream off. Yum, yum." "Sounds quite good," said Pussy Simkin, and he began to smile. "Is it far away?" "Just across the road, but you'll have to be careful of the cars tomorrow. I'll take you there, yes?" "Yes," Pussy Simkin said. Pussy Simkin, it was Janet calling. Siamese Ching," called another little girl. "Who's that?" asked Pussy Simkin, getting up to go indoors. Siamese Ching got up too. "That's Lucy, my little girl. Who called you?" "That's Janet, my little girl." "Goodbye, Siamese Ching. See you tomorrow," said Pussy Simkin, waving his fine fat tail. Siamese Ching jumped onto the fence and smiled his Siamese smile. "Goodbye, Pussy Simkin. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye." "Jump, jump, jump. Jump away from this town into the next today. Jump, jump, jump. Jump over the moon. Jump all the morning and all the noon. Jump, jump, jump. Jump over the sea. What wonderful wonders we shall see. Jump, jump, jump. Jump far away and all come home some other day." Pussy Simkin meets a peacock bird. Pussy Simkin was sitting in the sun. He had just finished washing his fine fat tail when he saw his friend Siamese Ching walking along the high fence. "Good afternoon, Pussy Simkin," said Ching. "Good afternoon, Siamese Ching. What shall we do today?" "I'll take you to the park today, but first you have to get out of this garden." Siamese Ching dropped gently down onto the flower bed. "Come here, Pussy Simkin," he said, "and let's see you jump." Pussy Simkin stood up and shook his tail. It looked handsome, he thought, with the white bits all white and the orange parts bright and silky. He walked over to Siamese Ching and, taking a deep breath, he leapt on his back legs, looked at the high fence and jumped. "Meow! Miho, miho, miho!" cried Siamese Ching as Pussy Simkin plonked back onto the flower bed. "That's no good, try again." Pussy Simkin tried again, with a deep breath and a bigger lean backwards, and he fell back onto the flower bed with a bigger plonk. Siamese Ching said, "Higher, higher, Pussy Simkin, try again." Once, twice, 3 times, Pussy Simkin tried to jump onto the fence, but each time he fell onto the flowers. Siamese Ching showed his fat furry friend how to do it, but he still plonked back. Then 2 cats wondered what to do. It was no good thinking of going to the park if Pussy Simkin couldn't even get out of the garden. Siamese Ching had an idea. "Let's walk carefully round the garden," he said, "and have a good look at the fence. Maybe somewhere there's a gap and you can squeeze through." Sure enough, halfway down one side there was a gap, and Pussy Simkin began to squeeze through his head, then his neck and his front paws, and then his whole body. But then he got stuck. Siamese Ching roared and roared and roared with laughter. "Oh dear, you look funny," he said. Pussy Simkin didn't think it was all funny. "Don't just stand there laughing," he said. "Push me or pull me, do something." Siamese Ching gave a hard push at his friend's back. Pussy Simkin turned and twisted, twisted and turned, and suddenly he was through the gap. Siamese Ching jumped up on top of the fence and down the other side. Pussy Simkin looked at his tail. It wasn't so beautiful now, all muddy from the flower bed and all tangled from the fence. "You can't stop and wash it now," said Siamese Ching. "Come on, we're going to cross the road." Pussy Simkin walked with Siamese Ching to the edge of the road. Siamese Ching showed his friend how to watch the cars rush by and how to look at the left and right, to look right and turn again to the left and make sure the road was empty before trying to cross. Then they marched quickly together to the other side and went into the park. "Carefully now," whispered Siamese Ching. "Don't let the park keeper see you. He doesn't like cats in the park." Pussy Simkin followed Siamese Ching along a muddy path. They crept past a house where Siamese Ching said the park keeper lived, and rang softly without a sound up the grassy slope. They stopped, and Siamese Ching said, "Well, Pussy Simkin, how's that for a place to play?" As far as Pussy Simkin could see stretched beautiful green grass. It was bigger than the farmyard he had lived in before. It was smoother, greener than the fields where he used to watch the birds in the country. It was surely the biggest, finest garden Pussy Simkin had ever seen. "Wow, meow," he said. "This is very nice." The 2 cats walked all the way round this big grassy garden, looking under a little gate to see some flowers and over a low wall to watch the sparrows. Siamese Ching made sure the park keeper was looking the other way, and they peeped at the fish pond and saw the golden fish swimming around and around under a fountain. Suddenly Pussy Simkin heard a terrible noise. "Caw, caw, caw." He arched his back and looked very frightened. "Whatever's that?" he said. "That's a peacock, a bird with long tail and many colors." "I don't like it," said Pussy Simkin. "I shall go and chase it away." And he began to run towards the tree where the noise came from. "Pussy Simkin, come back," called Siamese Ching. "The peacock belongs to the park. Leave it alone. Come back." "I'm going to chase it away," called Pussy Simkin, looking very determined. "Don't fuss so. I'm very good at chasing birds." Pussy Simkin reached the tree. He could see a dark shape up in the branches. Caw, 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 it said. Psst, said Pussy Simkin in his fiercest voice. Psst, go away, you silly bird. Psst. There was a flurry of wings and a rush of wind, and out of the branches and down the ground flew the bird. It was enormous. It was bigger than a pigeon, bigger than Pussy Simkin himself, and its long tail stretched behind it like a carpet onto the ground. Pussy Simkin didn't remember seeing a bird like this big before. His fierce voice was suddenly lost, and his proud arched back lay flat. He began to walk slowly backwards, and the peacock bird began to walk forward, saying, caw, 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 go away, silly orange cat, you go away, this is my part, caw, caw, caw. And the peacock bird did a funny little twist and a flutter, rush, twoosh with his feathers, and there was his beautiful many-coloured tail all spread out and standing up behind him. Pussy Simkin ran as fast as he could. He didn't wait for Siamese Ching. He didn't look for the park keeper. He ran home, past the grassy slope, past the park keeper's house, along the muddy path, across the road. He was in such a hurry. He forgot about the big fence around his own little garden, and he jumped right over it in one try. Pussy Simkin looked at his tail. Poor tail, all muddy and dirty and tangled. He began to lick it clean again. And Siamese Ching, well, he was sitting in the tree where the peacock bird had been, watching it walk proudly across the big grassy park, and Siamese Ching was thinking of Pussy Simkin and smiling his Siamese smile. Two little blackbirds singing in the sun. One flew away, and then there was one. One little blackbird, very black and tall, he flew away, and then there was the wall. One little brick wall, lonely in the rain, waiting for the blackbirds to come and sing again. Pussy Simkin on a rainy day. It was raining, and Pussy Simkin didn't want to go out. He had tried going out on wet days once, twice since he came to live in the town, but he didn't like the way the cars went splashing through the puddles, sending the dirt, rainy water all over his fine furry tail. So Pussy Simkin decided he would curl up in his basket by the nice warm radiator and go to sleep. When the front door bell rang, Pussy Simkin didn't bother to wake up. He was dreaming about country mice and the farmyard ducks. When he heard the little girl's voice, he managed to open one eye. It was Janet, talking and saying hello to her new friend Lucy. When Pussy Simkin heard a meow meow noise right by his ear, he opened both eyes and saw Siamese Ching smiling his Siamese smile. What a lazy fat Pussy Simkin you are, he said. Pussy Simkin stretched himself. Well, what is there to do on a miserable wet day like this? I'll think of something, you'll see. Just wait until my Lucy takes that stupid lead off my collar. It was Pussy Simkin's turn to smile now. Who ever heard of a cat with a lead and a collar on? Just like a dog you are. Lucy undid the lead and hung it on a coat peg by the door. Then she and Janet disappeared up the stairs to Janet's bedroom to play. Come on, Pussy Simkin, said Siamese Ching. Don't lie there sleeping all day. He sniffed. I smell something nice in the kitchen. We'll go and find out what it is. Pussy Simkin went over to the door and pushed it open with his paw. He sniffed too. Fish, he whispered to the Siamese Ching. It's fish. I think someone's making fish pie for supper tonight. I can't see anyone, said Siamese Ching. He walked right into the kitchen. There's no one here, but there's a lot and lots of fish. Look. They both looked, and up on the yellow table stood a plate full of fresh white fish, all chopped up into small pieces. There was a bowl of fish and another plate with an upside-down soup bowl over it. Siamese Ching listened hard. He could hear the two little girls laughing together upstairs and the sound of the radio from the sitting room where Janet's mother was having a rest. The two cats looked at each other and nodded. In a moment, and without a sound, they were both up on the table and sniffing the fish. "There's white stuff in here," said Siamese Ching, putting his paw on the bowl. "I wonder what it tastes like." His paw moved slowly inside the bowl and touched the top of the white stuff. Siamese Ching licked his whiskers. "Yum, yum, it's lovely. Have some." Pussy Simkin had a lick and he liked it too. "Do you think it's to go with the fish?" he asked. "Shall we try it?" So the two naughty cats took a piece of fish and a pawful of white stuff, and they licked it very much indeed, and had some more. Not a sound did they make as they stood on the table eating, not a whisper, until all the fish and all the white stuff were finished. "What do you suppose is under here?" Siamese Ching wondered, looking at the upside-down bowl. "More fish? More white stuff? Let's see." Pussy Simkin put his paws on the bowl and tried to move it off the plate. It wouldn't move. "Here," said Siamese Ching, "let me try." He managed to get his paw under the bowl and gently raise it up and slid it away. Underneath was a round lump of something white. "That's pastry, I know it is," said Pussy Simkin. "Pastry waiting to be cooked. Janet's mummy lets me nibble the pieces Janet plays with sometimes when they're both cooking." Pussy Simkin pushed his paw into the middle of the pastry, but instead of taking off a neat piece to put in his mouth, Pussy Simkin's paw stuck in the pastry, and he lifted the whole plateful of pastry and the plate up into the air. For a moment it stayed there, with Pussy Simkin's paw in the middle. Siamese Chen began to smile, then suddenly the plate went tumbling to the floor with a terrible crash. Siamese Ching and Pussy Simkin didn't smile now, they ran. Janet's mother came rushing into the kitchen just in time to see the two cats' tails disappearing out of the window. "Oh, you bad, bad cats," she called. "You've eaten all our supper and broken one of my plates and messed up all my pastry. Wait till I catch you, you naughty bad cats." But Pussy Simkin and Siamese Chin didn't wait. Out they went, over the big high fence and into the street. The cold dripping rain made them miserable, wet. The cats rushing along the road, splashing through the puddles and soaking them through. The high streets were crowded with people wearing raincoats and carrying umbrellas, and the shops were full and busy, with the shoppers in a hurry to get home. Sadly, Siamese Ching suggested going for shelter into one of the shops, but Pussy Simkin said no. They would only be chased out. They came to the fish shop, and both the cats stopped and looked at the herring and the mackerel and haddock and whiting. They weren't really hungry after all they had eaten, but it was always good to look at fish. A big girl and her boyfriend were just going into the shop. "Oh, look," said the big girl. "Look at those poor cold wet cats. How hungry they look. We'll buy them some fish," they said, and the big boy, with a laugh, "We'll ask the fishmonger if he's got a few ends." A few moments later, the big boy and the big girl went outside the shop again. "Here you are," said the boy, and held out a newspaper parcel for Pussy Simkin to carry in his mouth. "There now, you take that home for your supper, and don't you forget to give some to your friend." Pussy Simkin and Siamese Ching knew immediately what they would do. They would hurry home with the fish parcel and give it to Janet's mother and make a new fish pie for supper. And they turned around and ran straight back home. The kitchen window was still a little bit open, just enough for them to push through, and nobody was there. Pussy Simkin jumped up onto the yellow table and laid the parcel of fish there. Janet's mother would have a surprise when she found it, and she would know the two naughty cats were sorry. Then Pussy Simkin jumped down from the table and crept away to his own comfortable basket. "Move up, Pussy Simkin," said Siamese Ching. "I'm coming in too." "You are quite right. What else can we do on such a miserable wet day but have a good long sleep?" There are clouds in the sky rushing along over the trees, and the wind is strong. "Jane, Jane, I'm going to rain. Are you really?" Mustn't rain. Take your umbrella. You'll find your Wellington still muddy from yesterday's shower. I fell, but put them on anyway. There's a dear. Have you got everything? Don't forget, I'll be terribly cross if you come home wet. The raindrops fell from the dark grey skies, but good little Jane kept it dry as dry.